evening, everyone. Welcome to Cryptid Crunch. I am your host, Willow Skylor. I got some new earrings. Sadly, they are way too heavy for my ears, so yeah, there's not a chance that I'm gonna torture myself by wearing those tonight. We are going to be discussing lots of interesting creatures tonight. So let's get started. And I got a couple friends to introduce you guys to. All right. With me, as always, is Keisha.
Hi, guys. You know me.
Hello.
I'm not fun.
Oh, you are definitely fun. Don't give me that.
I got more fun people here tonight, okay?
Well, I'm excited to get started on our show. So let's bring up Crayle.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going for you tonight?
It's pretty good. I am staying with my Phoenix sister, Kelly. If you watch any of our other shows on the network, like Cosplay Cafe or Back Issue Breakfast Club, stuff like that, you've heard of my Phoenix sister. She's my cosplay partner. We share like 2 brain cells between the 3 of us now. Like Andrea came onto our team on Cosplay Cafe, and now there's 3 people trying to use those 2 brain cells.
Well, soon there will be an army of Phoenix sisters, right?
With lots of brain cells.
We're always recruiting. Everybody must bring at least 1/2 of a brain cell.
Okay, duly noted. All right, and new person tonight, meet Rebecca. She is my cousin by marriage.
Yeah, you
Hi,
can
Rebecca.
meet anywhere. I'm not online.
Well, we're both married into the same family, so so I don't know. And she you're from Australia, so I'm excited to hear you talk about cryptids and extinct monsters. And I'm
we
sure
got some
we'll
fun stuff.
I'm sure we'll
Canada,
get to
Australia,
the dinosaurs as well. But yeah, so who wants to go first to talk about their creature?
Everybody point their finger at Willow.
All right. So first of all, let's address the people in the chat. Hello, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Dan.
Oh, what kind of chips though? Because now I'm curious.
Yes, I am curious about the chips as well. And then, of course, without there wouldn't be a Donna without Carl. And yes, cryptid nudes. Almost time. Ah, yes, and Johnny's in the chat as well. During the broadcast, you can support our page by sending us stars, digital gifts that helps us earn money and makes it easier to create and grant entertainment for you. So,
and we like when you do all of that.
This show wouldn't exist if it weren't for our lovely fans. And thank you very much, Johnny. Yeah, there's no way that these things would go on my ears and stay. Not without ruining my ears. Eli is in the chat. Found a list of creatures thought to have been extinct. Sorry if the layout feels cluttered. Definitely will look that link up later.
Me too. The cryptid I'm talking about today was thought to be extinct. It turns out wasn't. So...
Oh,
I hope mine is extinct.
I have a pet that was thought to be extinct, and it was rediscovered. I have a pet crested gecko. And
I have one too.
You know what's kind of funny about the crested gecko, because they were thought to be extinct, they're from French Polynesia, and the thing about it is that, like, how long does it live? And the answer is we're not sure, because they were only rediscovered in like 1995, so they expect that they live for about 25 years, but
Mine
maybe
is currently, I think, 10 years old.
Yeah, mine's 12. She's nearly a teenager.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
they do.
Let's hope that they don't discover the whole thing they did with the. Apparently, it's pronounced coelacanth, not coelacanth.
Oh,
I found it out
coelacanth.
today. I've been obsessed with this fish forever.
The coelacanth name.
Yeah, coelacanth. I like it better too. But yeah, no, they thought they lived like 25 to 50 years, and they found out recently that they can live for like 100 years, and they have like. Am I just going? Apparently, I'm about to like launch into my whole spiel.
All right, I am never going to interrupt you to stop talking about a coelacanth. Okay, I just see my dinosaurs here. There we go. Look at that.
Right. So they're big, and if you look at their fins, those like meaty bits there, so those are called lobed fins, and so they're like connected to the fish's body in a way that most more modern fish aren't. And I think this was an important part of the precursor in the Devonian period to the creatures that started out in the ocean and evolved to walk on land. And it's funny that they still have these like lobed fins, because the thing about calling them living fossils is that they called them that when they first rediscovered them. It did start in the scientific community, and then they went, oh, no, we're wrong. Fossils by nature are dead and extinct. And besides, since the Devonian period, they have still evolved some, like a lot, considering it's been millions of years. But nope, it's too late. Living fossil has stuck. The thing that's weird about it for me is I'm like, okay, so we knew that they existed at some point. We had fossils of them. Where did they go? Where did they go? Did they get raptured and then the unworthy coelacanths got kicked back to Earth? Like,
you are unworthy.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to profess to be an expert in that at all. But what I will say is that, like, you talk about the Devonian, like how many millions of years ago was that? And you think about like what geography was then and what it is now. Like here in Manitoba, I'm sorry, I don't know where the rest of you all are, but like the fossils that you will find in Manitoba are some of the most amazing mosasaurs in the world, right? And it's like, well, where are they now? Well, it's like, no, because it was an inland sea in Manitoba. And Manitoba was all underwater, right? So the coelacanth, when they rediscovered it, and I don't know exactly, but I believe it was in Africa or somewhere, right?
It was off of South Africa in 1938. Johnny was in the comments over there.
So, maybe they weren't gone. It was just like we found fossils in a place where they used to be, and then where we rediscovered them is a place that there wasn't a lot of exploration in that going on. Is my highly uninformed hypothesis. Like,
I mean, the fact that they're in a different place than they would have been. I mean, like Pangea was still breaking apart for a really long time, so that totally makes sense as far as your theory goes. But there was still a lot of travel around South Africa. The Dutch were colonizing it, and so people from lots of countries that weren't native to the area started traveling. Not that I'm like,
but were they
Dutch
like
colonization? I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of trade by ocean still in South Africa, like before 1938. So
Sorry, I'm watching. I'm reading the comments and we have David McDonald. Feels like fish evolved to get prettier.
I've seen some pretty ugly fish, so I don't know if that's true. I think just the ones we like.
Oarfish exist. So
why do they exist?
No. I don't know why. No one knows why. And they live in oarfish are also creepy. They're those sea serpent fish that like the Here There Be Dragons drawings that look like sea serpents were based off of, with the big crest on their head like this. And they exist in the trenches of all 7 oceans. How do you exist way down in the trenches and not up here? But it's all of them. Deep sea trench fish are creepy and unreal.
Yeah,
They
like,
are.
that's
I was
pure
actually
nightmare fuel.
I was actually explaining this to my husband earlier because we went to the museum, which is where I got the talk for. I was going to do the good old dodo bird because, well, I was in the dodo bird club in high school because I was a normal child.
I
But
believe you, Keisha.
I went to the museum with my kids today, and the lady was like, "Hey, did you guys see this exhibit over here?" And I was like, "Yes," but we looked at it, we said, "Oh, that's a creepy thing," and then we walked past. Like, we didn't actually look into it, the fact that it was a real thing that was once alive. Willow, if you have the picture, so this is called a Tully monster. And it actually, okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little insight to my life. My computer stopped working right before the show, and all of my notes are on my phone, which I cannot see right now. But they discovered it in 1955, if I remember correctly, in Illinois. It's only been found in Illinois, which is, of course, where I live. So that's unnerving.
Oh, look,
But
it's Keisha's great grandma and grandpa.
I knew it. No, so these actually predate the dinosaurs. These are from, okay, if I botch any of the information, I'm so sorry, guys. So these are from 300 million years ago, if I remember correctly. And they just discovered the fossils back in 1955 in Illinois. So in my area. So that's fun. They do look like they would be humongous, correct? I feel like they would be humongous, but they only got to be about 14 inches in length, which is still, I would not want to see one of these at all. But I was explaining to my husband that, yeah, back then everything looked creepy. But if you look at it, see the weird looking eye things that go out of the side of its body. I was explaining to him, I was like, technically, if we zoomed in on a little slug or something like that with weird eyes like that, there's a good chance it looks creepy like this. So it just depends on what size the creature is. That's how creepy it is. But this, I feel like, would be creepy in any size. But we got to see the actual fossil of one today, which it was quite small, but creepy. And I would not want to go swimming in the water that this was found in because it has lots of sharp teeth. And I do not like sharp teeth. So, yeah.
Sharp teeth under the water, especially, are the worst.
Yeah, I just imagine going swimming for a nice leisurely swim and then something nomming on me. And I'm not cool with that.
Also, it looks like its mouth is on an arm, like it could reach up in your pant leg or something to grab a meteor part of you.
Let's give people more nightmare fuel, okay? Maybe the eye things on the side would stop it from being able to fit up your pant leg, okay? I have high hopes in life. But I had more information on it. I just can't get to it right now. So if anybody wants to look that up and throw some information into the comments, that would be great.
What was it called?
It's called a Tully monster. And it's found in Illinois in the US.
I wonder how they reproduce, which sounds like a weird question to come up, but it's on my mind because one of the things that we learned recently about coelacanths is that their gestation period is 5 years long.
Whoa, I do not. I'm pregnant right now, and if I had to be pregnant for 5 years, I would cry.
They have taken the new title of longest gestation away from I think it's called the frillfin shark that has a 2.5 year gestation period, and they don't even reach sexual maturity until they're 55 years old.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
How long do they live?
100 years, they found out recently. So they thought they only lived 25 to 50 years, but then they found out that it was because they were they had measured something wrong. So they're called rings, and literally the way scientists try to explain it in layman's terms is fish with certain type of scale patterns. There are rings of layers underneath from where they've grown their new scales over top that you can count, like counting the rings in a tree, which
Ooh.
I did not know that was how we measured that, because they were like, actually, they live to be 100 years old. And I'm like, did we even rediscover them 100 years ago? Like, how do you know? Furious Googling. So, yeah.
You
and
went
then
down
they
the
were
Yeti
like,
hole, is what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying.
oh, yeah. And then they were like, all of these notes about their sexual maturity. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to resist talking about this, even though it's going to make me sound like a total weirdo talking about fish sex. So,
Okay, we're all total weirdos here, so you're fine. You fit right in.
right. And
Well,
they live,
okay,
like,
so
half a mile deep.
Johnny has a interesting comment. Crayle has a fixation on fixed sexuality. I think we all have like we're all curious about how creatures mate, and
Oh. I'm not allowed to make comments during this. I'm just gonna let's just okay, so
the
this
show
has been
goes
a
off
review
the
of The
rails
Shape
way
of
too much,
Water.
Rebecca. I apologize.
oh, you didn't forewarn her that this is how this goes?
Well, she knows me. She knows what I'm like at family gatherings.
I
The
missed
reason I
you.
left my hood up was so I could cover my face while I talked about the fish sex. Just pretend I'm not me.
At least you didn't have your 5-year-old ask you today, Mommy, how did your baby get in your belly? I told her it was magic, okay? I was not ready for this. And my 13-year-old is in the back seat going,
Eli Cash with any more tentacles in ice because those tully monsters would be elder things from H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness.
maybe they weren't fully extinct, right? Maybe they really did they aren't fully extinct like everybody thinks the other things are.
We're still discovering weird fish at the bottom of the sea, so it's it's only a matter of time before we actually find out what is certain creatures that
I feel like I would live really well
dead.
down in the bottom of the sea. Just saying that. If I could breathe and all. I think I'd fit in.
The crushing dark.
I love dark. I'm never in light. I only use light because Johnny yells at me when I sit like this. He's like, "You got any light, Keisha?" No.
I normally do the full ring light setup and stuff, but I was like, I'm talking about a fish that lives in total darkness half a mile below sea level. So I'm going to sit up against the blue wall in my dark blue hoodie with the hood up.
I didn't realize there was a camera. I thought it was audio. So, I mean.
Oh. That's okay.
That's okay.
But you wore your Dinah shirt anyway, so.
It was my 9-year-old's birthday today, so I was like.
Oh,
happy birthday.
I'm so sorry for bringing you in.
Ah, that's all right. Like, yeah.
He's 9. He's fine. He's fine.
Well, he's got school tomorrow. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rebecca, I'm curious about the Tasmanian tiger. So, okay, I know that they're extinct, and we were talking about it earlier of why they were extinct. But it's what do you know about this creature?
Well, I haven't done as much research. I feel quite underprepared here. Like we kind of know about it. Like there's a significant amount of sentimentality for it, and so we all know that it you learn in school that it was hunted to extinction because it supposedly killed sheep, but it's kind of I have a feeling that I've been told in the past that is not necessarily true. It's not likely to kill sheep, and it was probably like wild dogs, like introduced feral dogs that were killing the sheep, not the tigers. So it's a marsupial. So I always kind of think and this is extremely wrong, but I always kind of think, it's like a cross between a wolf and a kangaroo. So I like to think they hawk. Like they clearly don't, but
Okay, don't make me think about a wolf and a kangaroo. Please. I'm not mature enough for this episode.
This is my fault. I started it.
All right, so it is a marsupial, so it has a pouch. So whatever babies it had were actually inside a pouch. The way
oh my gosh, it sounds adorable.
Interesting.
I mean, after they're big enough to stick their head out of the pouch, they're probably adorable. But have you ever seen pictures of kangaroos, what they look like in between being born and finishing gestating inside the pouch?
Yes.
That's also
weird.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah. When you're a kid,
okay, I'm going to have to look at that
what
now.
Is that?
Thank you for that.
I've seen enough cats get born, so that's enough nightmare fuel right there.
I'll give you a little extra hint about that, because they basically the end result is that instead of being developing in the womb, they develop in a pouch. So they're born as like a little tiny embryo, and then and because they don't have like that placental, they're not placental mammals. They don't get the nutrients and stuff that placental mammals get. So they are famously stupid. Like their brains don't develop as well as us placental mammals. So they are kind of like, if you think deer are dumb, when deer stare at your headlights, like wallabies, even worse.
Yes.
Like just the dumbest.
Great. They're even dumber, and they can punch you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But I can see that people here are talking about seeing sightings of the Tasmanian tiger, and like I hate to be a downer on a cryptid podcast, but like it's extinct.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you mentioned that you're looking for people to talk about it, like I distinctly remember when I was a kid on the news, there was a guy who was driving a truck through the bush, and he's like, "Oh, I saw a Tasmanian tiger," and it was like, "Oh wow, did this guy see one?" Like we're all kind of excited about it. And then I remember that he said he was driving his truck, one ran out in front of him, he stopped and he looked at it, and then it ran into the bush, and he's like, "Oh, and my camera was in the glove box of my truck. If only I had thought to grab it, I could have taken a picture." It's like, and I thought, wow, but like we all have cameras now, like if people have seen it, how come we haven't taken pictures?
And yet we're still seeing pictures of Bigfoot all grainy and like far away, not even close up.
Yeah.
In normal cryptid fashion, I want to tell you guys today that I'm either going crazy, which might actually be right, or I saw something really weird tonight. So in two different areas on the way home, I saw it on the left side of the car and the right side of the car, like a couple miles apart. But I saw this weird flash of light, like somebody took a photo, but it was out in the middle of the cornfields. And it looked kind of like a rainbow that was straight and then curved over and then just like disappeared into the nothingness. And it happened twice. So I told my husband I'm probably hallucinating or I'm going crazy or something, or I saw like an alien.
I mean, those cornfield cryptids in the Midwest, like.
Would
it's
there be like a
nighttime
weather
here, so-
station near you?
There was
or-
nothing. It's straight up miles and miles of cornfield. So I don't know, but I saw it on both sides of the car, and it was just for like a split second. And it looked kind of like a rainbow that twisted up, flash of light, and then gone.
Huh.
Eli, I can actually see comments now, and Eli just said hashtag Keisha be crazy, which is my normal hashtag. But we have a special hashtag for when Crayle is on the show, and it's hashtag Keisha be driving me crazy. So, Eli, you might want to update that for right now. But yeah, I just wanted to, because I was going to forget about it if I didn't say it right this second. But yes, cryptid news for tonight, guys. Keisha is crazy. And I'm seeing things, so that's fun.
Now, I keep me posted on whether or not other people have seen that light.
I'm gonna have to do some research into it because it literally happened on the way home right
Is-
before I got here to do the show. So it was like, yep, I'm officially
If you're seeing it, then
bonkers.
someone else must be seeing it as well, because that doesn't sound like something that would be missed just, by happenstance. Just
Yeah,
it can't be seen just by one person.
I know. I'm gonna have to do some research into that now.
you
Guess I'm
guys
going down that Yeti hole tonight.
Do you guys want to know something about like creepy stuff about cornfields that I learned how it worked? And I told my dad, and he was like upset that the mystery finally got solved.
Sure.
Oh no, now yes.
So like, those giant irrigators that it's like a curved line and then another curved line, and like you'd never seem to ever see them moving. And then like you drive to work and you drive home and they're in a different location, and then you go back out to the store and they're in a different part of the field again. So like, and they're man-made, like clearly we have some way to move them, but I have definitely never ever seen another vehicle out there. And I've grown up in the Midwest my whole life. Like I've spent a lot of time like sharing roads with tractors and international harvesters and all that. So we were just like, how do they move them? We never see anything tow them. And you wouldn't want something to have to tow them anyway. So finally, I found an engineering website. And apparently the motor and mechanism is inside the wheels to protect it from the constant moisture.
Oh.
Huh,
And so
good to
I
know.
was
Yeah, because
like,
I was gonna say I've never seen them move either. And I live in the middle of cornfield.
yeah, they move super slow, and the motors and mechanisms and everything are inside those big wheels down on the end. And I told my dad, and he's like, oh, that's really disappointing. I like kind of just hoped they moved by the magic of corn. Like,
The magic of corn. It has the juice.
it does. It does.
I have a crop circle story.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
We
it's
are
not-
off the rails. It's okay, guys. Keep going.
I'm sorry. I hope this is okay. Like,
No, go right ahead.
All right. I hope that this is an okay story. My sister, like in Tasmania, one of the crops that we have is poppies, opium for morphine, right? So they have like morphine farms and morphine factories down there, and she worked at one. And they have these huge big fences to like keep people out of the opium. And it's all poppies behind the fence, right? But what happens is that wallabies can jump over the fences because they can jump so high, and then they get in there and they eat it, and then they hop around in circles. And so
Oh
we do
my
get crop
God.
circles from
At
kangaroos.
least that's what the
hopping.
government wants you to think. Oh, it's just wallabies. It's just a weird thing they do. They eat in circles.
Oh my God.
Yes. I want to see that happen now. I'm imagining it in my head. Sorry.
I mean, Australia is supposed to have some of the best fencing technology in the world because that's how you finally ended the emu wars, right?
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
So,
thought we've ended the emu war when we lost. That's what I
Okay.
understood.
yeah. So one of the reasons that finally they like declared it a loss as a military action is they just designed better fences. And it's like, that's humans for you. They didn't think of that first. So, I mean, if they could make an emu-proof fence after the emu war, I feel like it's suspicious that the wallabies are still getting through, especially if they have no placenta and they're dumb. Like,
Dan,
it's a government conspiracy, I'm telling you.
The coal of the poppies. Just
Dan, I already have that song stuck in my head, so thank you for reiterating that. I just got it out of my head, and now it's back.
Dan Hollyfield says, "Timey Wallaby down."
Timey Wallaby down, sport. Timey Wallaby down. I had a weird childhood, okay?
Well, when the year that the Olympics were in, I think it was Sydney, like they were playing it on the radio every hour on the hour for the whole year
Oh,
in my
Poor
hometown.
thing.
Sounds
And I was just like,
beautiful. I love it.
And I think the only song that I know that came from Australia is laugh kookaburra laugh.
Oh yeah, okay.
And yeah, I learned that in elementary. Only because my sister's teacher was from Australia. So he was teaching a bunch of his students how to sing all these like crazy
Campfire songs.
yeah.
I know that one too. I think I learned it from a Barney episode about Australia, maybe.
It's also a Girl Guide song. If you've ever had any connections with
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, it was actually
Carl.
created for a Girl Guide like event.
Carl Witzman is a song about Kanga bondage. No, sorry. David McDonald, We Came from the Land Down Under. Thanks for putting that song in my head.
And once again, I'm wondering what Vegemite actually tastes like.
Oh,
I know.
you've never had Vegemite?
I've never had
it.
Vegemite.
Okay, so what you want to do is get some
Do we really want to?
beef stock, like a beef stock cube or beef bouillon powder, right? And then add some yeast to that. You got to get a yeast flavor, and then just add like a 1-to-1 ratio of water. All right, so it's like a paste, and then just spread that on your toast, and away you go.
Oh no! Why?
Oh, that actually sounds really good. It's like beef butter.
Yeah.
No.
I will
I don't know
stand
if I would call
by.
that a sandwich, but
You have it on toast or sandwich.
We have Click, and which is our version of like spreadable meat. I still like.
Oh no!
well,
Vegemite is
no.
not beef. It's like that's what you're looking for. That taste. It's just really salty, but it's yeast extract. So the other thing you could do is take like a 2-4 of beer, and then just boil it down the way you boil maple syrup down until all you've got left is like a centimeter thick sludge. And that's probably the same thing. Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
All right, David, you're probably allergic to Vegemite. I'm sorry. You can't drink beer. Something about the yeast reaction. So, like, sorry, dear.
That sounds like something that I would probably not want to try out anyway.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
Right, I've eaten all kinds of weird things on toast. I went through like a 2-year phase towards the end of college where I spread Hooters sauce on toast. I was out of butter one time, and the Hooters wing sauce is butter based, and I was like, close enough. And then I kept craving it for 2 years.
You know what? I ate some weird things when I was super poor.
I was also super poor when this happened, yeah.
At this point in my life, I'm like, that sounds delicious. And I don't ever want to eat it again, but I also want to eat it again, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to have to eat it, but now I'm like, I want to eat it.
Right. All through college, I was constantly introducing my friends to, like, poor people recipes. Like, I had so many friends who had never had salmon patties. And the thing about various patties that come from canned meats is the canned meat stays good a long time. And if you have more people, you just keep adding more cracker or some kind of cheap vegetable you've got, like you dice up
extra
an onion,
eggs.
like
I make
extra
salmon
eggs,
patties for my husband constantly.
And like I had so many friends who they were like, oh no, we forgot to buy garlic toast. And I was like, we have bread, we have garlic salt, we have butter. I can make garlic toast. And they're like, no, it won't be the same. And then they eat it and they're like, okay, it's a different texture, but the flavor is exactly the same. And I'm like, yeah, it's garlic and butter on bread.
One of my favorite things that I used to eat was just butter on bread, not cooked. Mm-hmm. And I used to put my spaghetti on it and eat it like a sandwich.
Yeah. We ate buttered bread with everything when I was a kid, and there were certain recipes that you just had buttered bread with. And so
I made poor life.
So I made tuna helper. It's like the cheesy pasta with the tuna in it for some guests last year. And I didn't know that we were out of bread. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't have any bread to butter bread to go with it. And they were all, everyone else in the house was like, I've never had buttered bread with my pasta. And that's when I realized, oh crap, there were 3 kids in my family, which means we were usually a 5-person household. And a box of tuna helper serves 4. That's why there was always bread. Like,
that was something that was a regular thing in my foster home. Was we'd have our hamburger helper and bread or buns.
yeah.
When I was going through my super poor phase right before I met my husband, like I was literally living off of a box of granola for a month. But what I remember is before that, since I was still super poor, I would take boxes of macaroni and cheese and I'd get sick of eating macaroni and cheese at every meal. So I would start adding different things into it. Like one day it would be red crushed pepper. One day it would just be pepper. One day it would be like garlic. One day it would be like different things. And I'm like, this is my life now. Just different
That's what
flavored
I did.
McDonald's or mac and cheese.
I did that with a bag of quinoa. It was technically past date at the deli I was working at. And so I took it home, and once a week I'd go buy like 4 vegetables for $5 or something. And one day I'd put bell pepper in it. And the next day I'd put onion in it. And I would use a little bit of my roommate's like bottled sauces because that was like communal stuff, but I hadn't actually been buying my share lately. They were just cool about it, And so it's like today was onion soy sauce quinoa. Yesterday was bell pepper Frank's Red Hot sauce quinoa. Like,
and Johnny, yes, this is now cryptid food, okay? Because this stuff does not exist, okay?
it doesn't.
This kind of goes with Eli's comment about this is a rare beastie and is believable because Florida, obviously. I present the 15-foot croc, and I'm sure someone out there has actually cooked or barbecued crocodile, and I'm sure it's delicious.
Oh yeah,
I've heard that it tastes like alligator. I've heard that it tastes like chicken. It's just a greasier texture. So
me sitting over here going, I don't eat meat in general, so
Willow, I know a place in Manitoba that you can eat crocodile if you want to.
Yeah, there was a restaurant not that far from where I live that had crocodile, and it was an actual Australian restaurant.
I never got to go there. Yeah.
Yes, I tried it. It was a very salty dish, but it was actually really good. It was it kind of it reminded me of mussels, but it was good.
You see, guys, this is how these animals become extinct. We go, tasty. And then we just eat them to extinction. And they were like, oh no,
the mammoths that they found.
What happened to cows? Well,
we will eat anything. We will eat anything that.
Also, some things go extinct because they're not delicious enough, and we keep tinkering with them. Because aurochs used to be like the size of houses,
so we don't
and aggressive. So we kept breeding them to be smaller, to be more manageable and tastier. Then we went a little too far. Now we're breeding cows to be bigger again. But they went extinct because they weren't tasty enough. And so we just kept breeding them into different things that tasted better and were easier to herd.
I am trying to preserve the lives of animals so they don't go extinct. So you're welcome.
And then there's me that actually has said that if the world ends, I will not be ashamed about eating my cats.
If the world ends, I'm probably going to eat my neighbor. So we're good.
Okay, humans are obsessed with eating things just to know, though, because they found that mammoth mostly preserved in ice in northern Russia and the Siberia area. And that since it had started thawing naturally, it wasn't preserved anymore. So they're like, we really might as well find out what mammoth tastes like. You know what it tasted like? Freezer burn. It tasted like freezer burn, according to the people who ate it.
Oh, that's delicious.
How shocking. Who would have thought something frozen for thousands of years?
For those of you that want to practice for the end of the world, they do have vegan human flesh that you can buy called Wufu, I believe, and it is made so that vegans can taste human flesh like any normal human being that wants to taste
feel like we've
flesh.
Talked about this before
Because we have.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
I'm sure we
was
talked about it
expecting.
on your show as well. Really?
I talk about being a cannibal a lot, so it's okay. I had a cannibal dream last night, so it's fresh on the mind. I was
mean,
not
like,
the
we
cannibal.
have-
I'm just throwing that out there. Okay.
We have like fake flavor seafood, and with that human flesh thing, someone had to have eaten human flesh to get this similar taste. So,
Oh, I just read Dan's comment. It says, Keisha, a good barbecue sauce covers up a multitude of sins. You know, my favorite barbecue sauce is what I had tonight, which was hot barbecue sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. So that sounds pretty tasty.
uh,
So, Rebecca, welcome to the show. I know this is your first time on.
Carl,
Hope you're
of course, we
enjoying.
know that the cats are thinking the same thing about Willow. Let's fatten her up a bit more, and before we eat her. Oh, I am.
Nom,
I'm
nom.
100%
that's why they
positive
did it.
that when they lick you, they are tasting you to see if you're ready to be.
Oh, my
eaten.
cat licks me constantly. I am not safe.
Oh, speaking of cannibalism and our pets tasting us, I made a post the other day, like, people who say that having pets doesn't prepare you at all for having children are wrong, because I'm trying to get work done on this manuscript, and my nephew is just sitting here licking and chewing on my arm while he watches his movie.
I guess that's a thing. You might want to like get him, like, wean him off of that before it gets a little too nommy.
Before his adult teeth come in, right? He's 2, so the babies
Yeah.
are already there. It might be
Nom,
too
nom, nom.
late.
And
Oh no.
I know, like I've had babysitting kids, and even my own family, where it's like they'll grab my hand and it's like, no, here's a soother, go away, kid.
Oh, at this point, I'm just like, go for it.
That was me too. I was just like, he's not screaming. He's not being so forceful about it that I can't type my like notes that I need to type in the margins. Like, okay, I guess we're watching Luca for the 30th time today while he eats my arm.
So on the topic of cannibalism, just because if anybody needs any writing material, since I'm probably way too swamped to write about it, in my dream, I felt sorry for the cannibal. They kidnapped me, and I felt sorry for the cannibal because it was an older gentleman, like in his 60s, and he had a younger son who was probably in his 40s, and he had never been let outside, so he still had like the mentality of a younger kid, like a teenager maybe, but he didn't know anything about the outer world, and his dad would kill people and feed them to his son. And so the son didn't know any better. And I like tried to become friends with the son. And I was like, I will get you out of here. And then I ran away, and the dad tried to shoot me as I was running. I got away, but
see, cannibals, this is why you start with the head first.
Like, accidental cannibalism, according to the Vampire Diaries, is how sirens came to be. So,
interesting.
I'm gonna have to look into that now. But yeah, so if you guys want to write about me getting kidnapped by cannibals and trying to make friends with them, well, you're welcome.
And those of you who are writers in the chat, which is the majority of them, how's your NaNoWriMo going?
I have written every day this month. I have not written my goal, but I have written every day this month. So that's my I'm counting that as a win.
Exactly my thought there, Donna. Keisha's working on her next book.
Oh, maybe that's what my brain was trying to tell me. Is that I need to write a book about that. Oh.
Speaking of Keisha's book.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yes, make sure that you go out and buy that book, guys.
And the comment section makes me extremely happy.
Keisha, I actually plugged your book in 2 days. There's going to be an article published to the back of the Cereal Box blog, which I'm the manager for. If you want to be a guest writer for our blog, please contact me. We'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, I was talking about Kelly and I spending some time at the Southeastern Wisconsin Festival of Books, and I was like, the network, so many people were interested in our podcasts. Also, of course, they were like. Our content is so reader friendly. We heart readers and readers heart us, probably because so many of our contributors are authors. So
very true.
I used you and Johnny as examples. Linked your books. You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That'll be $25.
Do you take 1950s postcards?
I do. I was joking, but now you owe me.
It's got little sayings inside and everything. It's just so
okay.
cute.
I will message you my address later. I need one.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. So, Rebecca, I apologize for.
Apologize for what?
Dan posted and said, Rebecca is now digging an escape tunnel.
Again, she's hung out with me at family gatherings, so this is pretty much normal conversation.
I also don't think Dan realizes we also have her leg chained underneath the desk, so she's not gonna get far. So, does anybody else have any extinct animals besides, this show?
Well,
no.
I was going to touch a little bit on the dodo bird, but where our conversations were going, I felt like, yeah.
We are the dodo birds?
How messed up would it be if alligators tasted more like chickens than dodo birds?
Huh.
You guys are never going to invite me back.
Okay,
sex, and what does it taste like?
I feel like
we'll never know.
I feel like the dodo bird would definitely taste more like goose, where it's a bit more greasy than chicken or turkey.
I don't even remember what real meat tastes like. I haven't eaten it so long, so I imagine it might taste okay-ish. I don't know. Do I like meat? I don't think I do. I don't know. Anyway, I imagine my brain just went to 20 different places. Why is it that most of the extinct animals or animals now somehow relate to chickens or had feathers? I think I'm frozen.
I just food for thought.
Most of the animals, dinosaurs, chickens, dodo birds, chickens. Everything had feathers and looked like chickens. So I'm just thinking that everything is chickens now, which I live on a chicken farm, so understandably, chickens.
So which came first, the chicken or the chicken?
I don't know.
Well, aren't we, Rebecca? You know dinosaurs better than most people that I know. We're finding now most dinosaurs have had feathers rather than scales.
Right.
So, that would make them more bird part of the bird family. Then.
No. We say that birds are part of the dinosaur family because dinosaurs came first, right?
I have little velociraptors all over my garden.
Yeah. Well, we talk about having dinosaurs in our backyard, and we're talking about geese and things that come and land in it. So when we talk about dinosaurs being extinct, we say non-avian dinosaurs are extinct because avian dinosaurs still exist. But yeah, I don't know. Did I answer your question or I just get distracted?
No,
we're all distracted, so we have no idea. Just go for it.
So I don't know if dinosaurs really are extinct rather than they just evolved.
No, that's exactly right. Non-avian
in
dinosaurs.
order for us to survive longer, we need to make ourselves have wings or feathers of some sort.
We've got to get David's comment up here because, okay, So we went to the most like ghetto zoo ever in the Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, where it used to be a water park, and you could tell because the stuff that they didn't have animals in there yet, like, was just an empty pool. And so since there wasn't a lot of space, first of all, there were a lot of creatures that normally at zoos, there's like a big dip in the ground or a big raise in the ground, and there are two different heights of fences to where you get good viewing of the animals, but you could never touch them. Yeah, we petted a greater kudu. There was just one 12-foot tall chain link fence, and there it was, and it was just curious about us, right? And so they had these cups of carrots, and they were like, it's only for these specific animals. But yeah, all the animals wanted the carrots and were just getting up in your face, and they could. And so this ostrich was like hunting David. We didn't pay for the cup of carrots. And first of all, the giraffe was super judgy about it. The camels ran up to us wanting carrots, and we didn't have any. So we scratched their heads, and they feel exactly like sheep. I don't know if you've ever petted a sheep, but that's what camels feel like.
I have petted a camel.
Right? They look so happy. A camel. And then the giraffes are my favorite animal of all time, swings its head over from the next enclosure. And I'm like, I'm going to get to pet a giraffe. And then it sees that we have no carrots. It turns around so that its butt is facing us and then cranes its head around to stare at us over its own butt. Like the angriest, judgiest giraffe face I have ever seen. And everywhere, the ostriches were, like, it was still generally set up in like a circular walk. And either one of us could have had carrots, but they targeted David. Like, they were like following him. And again, like the enclosures, like everything just a little too close and a little too like, maybe you could have touched some animals that you shouldn't.
Probably
right?
shouldn't. Yeah.
And like they were hunting him. Like, I don't know. I mean, so like David and I are from different like parts of the world historically before we both ended up in the United States. And so my husband is Cuban, right? And we were talking, coming back around again to cannibalism. I'm guessing this has got to be why the ostrich was hunting him. We were talking one time about, at a group of our coworkers, if we were all stranded on an island and had to resort to cannibalism, who would we eat first? And one of my roommates said David, and we were like, why? David has some of the best survival skills. And she's like, I don't know. I just think he would taste better. Said something that accidentally sounded a way she didn't mean. So I'm going to skip that part of the story to be fair to her. And then I was like, he's Cuban. He probably just tastes like garlic. He's already infused. So I'm guessing the ostrich just wanted the garlic infused
That's what it was.
person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
They're dinosaurs, and they
garlic infused person. Nom nom.
Which brings us to Carl's comment here. This sums about humankind so much. How does it have sex, and what does it taste like? Yep.
We still don't know how narwhals have sex.
Really?
Yeah, really. We guess they do it at too deep of waters for us to observe it.
No, yeah, cool. I'm not gonna think about narwhal sex.
We also aren't exactly
oh my
sure how
gosh,
whale sharks give birth.
My husband said at least they're always horny.
Oh.
It was sitting right there. I'm mad that I didn't think of it first.
So welcome to the show, guys. This is Cryptid Crime. Oh, dear Lord.
Johnny's like, I'm going to offend some people when I tell you that I do not believe that birds are descendants of dinosaurs. Good to know.
Okay.
No one.
Good night, Johnny.
You can't just drop a controversial opinion like that and bounce, Johnny. Come on.
Science doesn't care if you believe in it.
Yeah. And that's why he's not part of the show tonight. that and his Christmas sweater that he was wearing earlier.
Funny. I told Kelly it must have been because he didn't want me to outshine him. I'm not normally on the show. He just couldn't take the pressure.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hebus.
Carl,
I'm sure we will, Carl.
Good night, Keisha.
I dream about some weird stuff, you guys. I keep a dream journal, and Man, let me tell you, there are some things that I worry about myself. Like, not only did I make friends with a cannibal last night, but like, there's been some worse stuff. So,
One of these days, we'll take a deep dive into Keisha's dream journals.
Oh,
you know what?
that's
I'll
only
just
on
Be a
publish it
podcast
as a
all
book.
its own.
I'll just publish it as a book, and then y'all can just read my crazy.
I would pay money for that. Right.
I have no doubt.
Before we have to get off of here, though, I do want to talk about a very special event coming up that is
yes, please.
hosted by where's my picture that I uploaded? I swear I uploaded it.
I think it's on someone else's, but I will go to your screen.
That's fine. Okay.
So that
Cosplay Cafe has taken over. It's fine. So, Back of the Cereal Box presents the Multiverse Fundraiser every January. This year, it's the weekend of the 20th through the 22nd. This is a 2.5-day free virtual convention with celebrity interviews, indie author panels, all kinds of different topics like you would find at a comic convention. And all we do is encourage you to donate to a charity. This year, we are called the Ritter Rally. We are encouraging people to donate to the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, because the actor John Ritter was misdiagnosed as having had a heart attack when actually he was having aortic dissection. And so they exist to raise awareness about this aortic health condition that has been overlooked and misunderstood. So it's a really great cause. His wife, Amy Yazbek, who founded it, has been really involved in helping us promote it, helping us get really excellent celebrities, on top of the fact that our celebrity guest liaison is just amazing. So it's a great event. You're going to want to attend. Last year, Kelly dressed up as Bob Ross and did a painting class. And so
it was beautiful. I actually have the painting from that, I think.
Excellent.
I think I'm the one that won that painting. I think it's in the other room. Darn.
I think you did.
But
you also got my
it turns out great.
Like
I do. That's in the other room as well.
Yeah. So
all the good stuff. And for those of you that are curious, me and Crayle, I believe, Willow, you might be there too. I think we might be doing a cryptid episode.
Do my best.
We will see. But we're going to start releasing our people soon as to who we're going to be interviewing, and I'm super excited about it.
Black Friday, we're announcing celebrity guests, so follow the Multiverse Fundraiser. So it's like fundraiser minus the D, because we're also raising fun. Check us out on Facebook or go to themultiversefundraiser.com. Black
we're
Friday,
also on Twitter
and on TikTok. So the TikTok, I think, has less content, but still the content that's there is good.
We're still working on it.
Exactly. It's entirely volunteer run, which is amazing how much we managed to accomplish, but it does mean that, content creation, like video heavy and stuff like that, is a bit of a bigger struggle for us to get out there. So, and thank you so much to everyone on the Cereal Box Network, because it's a Back of the Cereal Box presents. Donna says it's on our calendar. Thank you, Donna.
Carl says the fundraiser is great.
So, spoiler alert, we may or may not be seeing and hearing from Donna and Carl during a certain panel about indie authors.
So,
I
like it.
It's a great event. It's a great value for it being for free, because what we do is you submit your questions via comments, just like you do for our podcasts here. And so last year, Noah Wiley was answering my husband's questions, and he was just nerding out about it. And normally, to get that kind of experience at a convention, unless you're one of like a few lucky people they have time for at a panel, you have to pay a lot of money to spend to get any attention from the guests.
Last year, I got to talk about birds with Kim Rhodes for like a half an hour, and it made my life. Like
Kim
I
Rhodes
was
was
interviewing Kim
amazing.
Rhodes, and she is phenomenal. And if I can't say who we have, but I'm excited about this year and being able to see and talk to so many cool people again,
Yes.
because that's
It is-
just fun,
It is
honestly.
very exciting.
All right, that brings us to the end of our show, unfortunately. But Rebecca, I really hope that you join us again. I don't think we've scratched the surface on our dinosaur chats.
We're gonna have an entire episode just on
All
dinosaurs.
right, you know what? I gotta tell you, as soon as you started talking about the chili monster, I was like, let me check this book I just happened to have here, and I didn't find it in there. But yeah, no.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more having you on the show again, Rebecca. Tell us where we can find you on social media, or if you're no,
No.
you're not a social media fan.
Well, I use it to keep in touch with people in Australia. I don't really have like a presence,
Oh, okay.
public presence. So. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. We'll definitely have you on again for sure, though.
Oh, would be my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Crayle, where can we find you on social media?
If you go to linktree.com/Phoenix Sis, SIS cosplay, so short for Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, you've got links to everything that Kelly and I do together, everything that Kelly and I do separately. We've realized we don't do anything separately anymore. We have stuff that her name is on or my name is on, but we're so up in each other's business. Like, it's not even funny. I do want to mention also, it's going to scroll because I have it formatted the wrong way in here. But if you go to, it's my name, CrayleVanest.com/homepage. I didn't get to pick the link for that. My Pokeballs by Crayle business has its own web store now. So you don't have to like message me and have a whole conversation with me to buy the stuff I make. You can just add it to your cart. And we'll get that on the link tree soon. But until then, CRAYLE V as in Victor, ANEST as in tango.com. Hit the shop button.
All right. Keisha, where can we find you on social media?
Literally everywhere. If you Google Keisha Acuff or Acuff Creations, like there's nowhere you can't find me. I'm pretty sure you could find my address, my phone number, so just hit me up. So no, I'm kidding. Please don't hit me up. I have an attack turkey and it will eat you. But
it's a dinosaur.
It is her. So and it messed something up the other day because something tried to attack my chickens, I guess, and my turkey fought it off. There was
good.
Oh yeah. She definitely hurt her leg, but I'm sure that she would eat somebody else. Somebody was towing my car away last month and she tried to eat him. So just don't show up unless you want to get eaten by a turkey or like 60 chickens. But yeah, I'm on pretty much any of the major platforms, mostly under Acuff Creations or Keisha Acuff. So just Google it, you'll find me.
All right, and you can find me all over social media. I'm on Facebook. Look me up. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I'm all over the place. So yeah, you can also find us on buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. We would really like the
Support.
money for different things, upgrading our shows and our technology to make it better. So yeah, become one of our sponsors and get your name on our list. And I know I thought I had that picture. No, I do not. All right. I'm going to this screen so that I can bring up all the people who have who do support
Sponsored us, yeah.
So yes, again, buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. For those of you who want to sponsor us and get on,
We love you
get on that
extra
list.
more. I will not put you on my cannibalist list if you sponsor us. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, also I have a code. I just put it in my website today, but I'm donating when people use the code to get free shipping on my website from hearing about this. I'm donating $5 back to the network every time. So let me find my code really, really quick, and then we can all go. I promise.
Until then, let's talk about Chupacabra.
It's
Chupacabra. No.
It's just cereal in all caps. Okay. If you use the code cereal, you get free shipping, and then I give $5 back to the network.
Ooh, okay.
Sweet
Good to know.
sauce.
All right, you guys, I appreciate you joining us today or tonight. And make sure that you guys tune in next Saturday. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but Johnny will. So you guys tune in Saturday morning. And next week, Sunday, is Ice Cream Queens.
Yeah.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks.